Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth, and we're back with Miss Medrielle, who has gone to seek the elf that might have a book or two for Bingo to study about the elves for his book. That's a lot of books.
Sweet-eyed Von dear.
Welcome to Lothlorien, Medrielle. I have already heard tell of your deeds, and any aid I can provide to you will be gladly given. You explained that Bingo wishes to write a chapter in his book about the elves of the Golden Wood, and he was hoping that Penniceth might be able to lend him a book he could study for that purpose. It is a noble thing, Medrielle, to seek knowledge of a subject about which you know little. I will happily give to Bingo a book that contains some accounts of the history of the elves. Beware, the book is many pages, but even so it will not cover the entirety of the subject. What book could hope to do so? Penniceth hands you a thick tome and then holds up her hand as you turn to go.
Hail, what brings you to Lorien?
No, do not go just yet. I have given to you a book of history. For if Bingo is to understand our people, he will need to know from where they came and the trials that they faced in their journeys to this point. But that is not all. There are so many names and places described in that book that I fear your friend will be quite overwhelmed and confused. To that end, take to this book of maps. With that he will obtain a full understanding of the many places in which elves have lived, and perhaps he would also attain an appreciation for the great scope and vastness of this Middle Earth and the lands beyond. Penniceth hands you another book, but once more she holds up her hand.
Welcome to Lothlorien.
If your friend Bingo examines those books, he will have a basic understanding of the history of elves and the lands that shaped their journeys. But it is still not enough. Such a study would leave out one of the most important aspects of our people's experience, the works of art they fashion and the art that fashions them. You surely know this and must agree, Medrielle. This book contains descriptions of many such works, and in some sad cases, that is all that remains, for many have been lost to the ravages of time and the plots of the enemy. From these pages, Bingo will learn much about the elves that he can learn nowhere else. Penniceth hands you another book, and it seems it won't be the last.
Sweet-eyed Von dear.
I have had another thought, Medrielle. If your friend Bingo wishes to write a complete study of the elves, I would be doing him and his future readers a tremendous disservice if I did not supply him with one more book. This is the tome, my studious friend. It contains many of the songs of our people, and within their lines Bingo will find much to feed both his mind and his heart. Sad songs there are, but also songs of triumph and of glad delight. The other books I have provided will tell him of Baron and Luthien, or of Gilgalad, but you surely agree that a true understanding of what they mean to our people can only be found in song. Penniceth smiles, and she seems to be all out of books. Oh, okay. I think at this point, Bingo should have just asked me, and I would have given him the brief history of elves. But no, we're gonna have to bring him back all these books. All right, so we are back with Bingo. Let's see what he thinks of the various books that were provided to him.
You have returned with a book. Wait, how many did you bring me?
You have returned, and with a book about the elves. Lovely. I will take that from you and get to work reading at once. Bingo trails off as he sees the stack of books you have for him. I asked for a single book, Medrielle, and if I am being honest, I was rather hoping for a slim volume. But you have returned with 3 others, and not a one of them of trifling size. If I were to set about reading these, my journey would be halted for a month or more. I wanted to write a chapter about elves, not a dozen. Well, I thank you for the materials, and I will read for a time, but it seems to me that a full understanding of the elves would take a lifetime, or 2. Is this why your people live such a long time? The better to understand your own complexity? My goodness.
The elves have begun an offensive into Mirkwood. It sounds exciting.
I've been reading some of these books you brought me, Medrielle, but I have to confess that this bench is not the most secluded of spots, and I have overheard a number of interesting conversations from this perch. It appears that the elves have begun to mount an offense on an evil stronghold in Mirkwood, and even now they begin to seize footholds on the other side of the river. Now, I am not keen on participating in any battles, but I do believe that it is my authorial responsibility to see the inside of Mirkwood if my book is to be complete. I spoke with an elf named Calengoth at the docks, but he refused my request that I be allowed across the river. He said he would not be responsible for my safety. Can you believe that? Well, I have had a capital idea. If we could prove that I am not afraid of orcs, Calengoth will have no choice but to recognize that I deserve to cross the river. I've heard that orcs have invaded an area in the northwestern reaches of the Golden Wood, and that an elf named Celeron needs help to combat them. Let us find him and volunteer to help. So he wants to go out over here, and I know exactly where he wants to go because that's where the orc of camps, Camp of Orcs is. Okay, so back out there, and of course, I'll be right back. Okay, we are back, and we are with Faleron, who Bingo wants to talk to.
What brings you to Lothlorien?
You're the companion of Bingo Boffin. He is an amusing fellow and insists that he is not afraid of orcs. He asked me to write this note granting him permission to fight our foes, and I've complied, though on some level I must doubt whether this is wise. Here's the parchment. May it put his mind at rest, and if you will fight the orcs in Fanduil to the north, the simple act of script may prove worth the time and ink. Alright, so we need to go kill a few orcs. Oh, Bingo is so silly. He just wants to keep getting himself into more and more trouble. Do I have space in my bag for some more? A little bit, not a ton. All right. We could have probably taken some of the daily quest while I was at it, but I did not feel like it. And besides, I don't think there's anything I particularly need to have right now. Oh, hello, Mr. Goblin. I think you count too for this. You do. Okay. One more. And I don't know about Bingo, but we'll have proved that I can handle myself against orcs. I'm assuming he's supposedly following me around. It looks like we have a Lothlorien quest here. Look for eagles. Okay, we'll go ahead and hide that for now. I'll come back to it later. We're interested in Bingo's adventures right now, not mine. And certainly not an old side quest.
Be wary, traveler. Orcs have come down from the mountains.
Well done, my friends. I am pleased that you have returned from your campaign against the orcs in good health and with victory. It seems you did not really need my permission at all, but I am glad to have granted it all the same.
We did it! And did you notice? We have permission to fight enemies anywhere.
We did it, Medrielle, we did it. And we also made certain the orcs that threaten the Golden Wood know it to be well defended by adventuring types such as ourselves. Bingo lowers his voice conspiratorially. And did you notice? The note that Falaran wrote for us says that we have permission to engage with the enemy of LOTRO, but it does not specify where those enemies are to be found. Bring that parchment to Calangoth at the docks, and you will have no choice but to bring me across the river into Mirkwood. Oh, Bingo, you are so silly. And it looks like we are headed to the docks, and I'm almost tempted to use a mithril coin, but I won't. And we'll be right back. All right, so we are with Calangoth at the docks, and we need to talk to him.
Servants of the enemy cannot pass the bounds of Lorien.
I'm sorry, but I told your friend that the Golden Host is beginning a dangerous assault, and I will not be responsible for his well-being. He would be better served remaining behind and riding in relative safety. What is this? You hand Calangoth the note from Falaran, and he looks at it with surprise. Well, I cannot say I agree with Falaran's assessment, but this parchment does relieve me of any responsibility should anything happen to Bingo within the forest. I will no longer prevent him from crossing into Mirkwood, but know that you will need to survive the landing and do as the Golden Host commands before Bingo will be free to explore. And of course, gain access to Mirkwood. Find Bingo within the Haunted Inn and the Dower Stocks. Because, of course, we've already finished the intro. So now we don't have to worry about that. Where is Bingo? Not sure he's going to find this the most welcoming place either. There you are, Bingo.
This is not the most welcoming of taverns, but at least it is warm.
What excitement, Medrielle. The Golden Host and the Rangers have crossed into Mirkwood, and they are making their way towards a frightful-sounding stronghold in the southeast. I'm glad to have seen within the woods, but I think I will leave a survey of this Dol Guldur to the experts. Instead, I think I will stay here by the fire and work on my book. This is not the most welcoming of taverns, but at least it is warm. I do wonder about the history of this place, though. This is one of the few buildings that seems to still be intact. Why not go explore the rest of the town and report back to me when you have seen the sights? I will be here. And Bart has arrived outside the Haunted Inn. So, wisely, Bingo has decided not to go to Dol Guldur. And Bert, what do you have for us, dear?
I have many fine items on offer.
I'm glad to hear that. We have a big pile of Elvish books. That's, of course, for housing. A flat tree is for housing. Ooh, Tome of the White Squirrel. Now that sounds cute. I will get that. For change, a pet that I might actually want. I will have to sort this out later, but... And there's our little white squirrel. Isn't it cute? And it is a proper albino squirrel. It even has the little red eyes. But we will hide him for now. We need to look into the distance from the bridge. We have to look at the Forgotten Grave. And one other spot. Is this the bridge? The view is breathtaking, but the bridge feels shaky and unstable. We're going to have to fight our way through these guys to get to the next point. This here? The town of Ogheim is burned out husk. Only the shells of buildings remain. Okay, so we're going to get on our horse because we got to go to the graveyard next. Look closely at the forgotten graveyard. This graveyard is ancient and most of the stones are faded and unreadable. I wonder exactly how long ago the events of this place took place. Oh. I'm thinking. You know what? I don't know. I cannot remember the dates on the gravestones. Although it sounds like either Sauron was forming Dol Guldur or he was returning to it. And of course, big difference if it was the forming of Dol Guldur. It would have been, I think, sometime in the Second Age. But if he was returning to it, it would have been, I think, late Second Age or early on into the Third Age, which would make what happened here very old. All right, Bingo.
I spoke with one of the rangers, and she gave me a lovely book of recipes.
Oh, your description of the areas nearby make them sound much as I expected, Medrielle. Tumbled down and in disrepair. Folk have not lived in this town for a very long time, and it feels to me that unhappiness lies upon it like a shroud. While you were gone, I spoke with one of the rangers, Adwelin, and she gave me a lovely book of recipes. Perhaps I will work to bring some measure of cheer and comfort to this tavern by preparing one of the recipes from this book. Yes, that will be just the thing. But I will need to choose one to make, and that will not be an easy task.
A tasty breakfast would be just the thing.
I've been leafing through the recipe book that was given to me by Adwelin, trying to decide upon what meal to prepare, and I think I've finally settled upon one. A tasty breakfast would be just the thing. I've been quite hungry ever since we came into this wood. Now this recipe does seem to be rather exotic, but I think that will be just perfect for our stay within Mirkwood. It calls for marshy taters, a little sage, some mint for seasoning, and the meat of several crows and choice cuts of spider. Oh my, I do not know about that, Medrielle. Perhaps if the meat is prepared just right, it will not be unsuitable. I'm dubious, but let us see how it goes. I will try to keep an open mind. After all, if I did not wish to have new experiences, I could have stayed back in the Shire. The author of this book must not have liked the name Mirkwood, for the description always refers to Greenwood the Great. That is very quaint. It seems as if some ingredients can be found in the southern swamps. Throughout the Scuttle Dells, by the town south of Oskalad, and the tower to the east of it, it is difficult to tell, because the author refers to these places with different names than those we know. So, we need to go gather a bunch of stuff and probably fight a bunch of things along the way. And first up, we have to go to the marsh, and that is not talking to Bert. He is not the stable master. We need to talk to this guy. Of course, I can never remember the name of this place. That's Oskalad. You were in the way. Drownholt. Estelad Marinell. But it also says we could do some of this in the Merc Eves. Wait a second, what? Okay. Drownholt. Oskalad. Crows. Minusgill. That's the Sorcerer Tower. I know where that is. and Scuttle Dells. Okay, so that part must be the crows. All right.
How can I be of service?
This is the one we need to get to for the Drown Holt. So yeah, he's going to take us here, there, everywhere to gather ingredients for breakfast. And I don't know about you, but it includes spider. It does not sound all that appetizing. All right, so we need to find some marshy taters, which might be a little bit of the ways into this swamp. Floating names are, oh no, I want floating names on right now. Thank you very much. Ah, marshy taters. Okay. We have a bunch of bog lights following us. A procession of bog lights. We got one little fella still following us. Oh, and you don't want to move before you're ready. Because if you turn away, it says, oh, you have to be facing the target. And I'm like, I was facing the target. What are you talking about? Okay, so now we need to head to Oscolod.
What can I do for you?
Luckily, we have the stable for that too. And I think a lot of what we want is around here. Yeah, a lot of what we want is around here, so very good. And wait. I think it's official. I think we have pretty much caught Bingo up to where I am in the story. Yes! After all this work, we have finally caught him up. So now, I think we're going to make sure we keep him semi-caught up in the future. So, let's see. Go back in here. Collect obsidian. Okay. Wow. I'm like, I couldn't be happier right now that we actually caught Bingo up. But we have actually some other quests at Minusgill. All right, let's focus on gathering what we need. So we need one more sage bush, which is right here. We're going to need 3 more crows, which we'll have no trouble finding crows around here. So let's go hide behind upright stones on the road to Minusgill. Actually, that works out. So that'll get us an epic, and it'll also lead us to 2 side quests. One of them being Bingo's. And on the way, we can finish getting our crows. Well, maybe. We need one more. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we got the crows done. We have something chasing us. I don't know what it is. Oh, it's a goblin spy. Hello, how are you? Goodbye. Thanks. Quit following me. Where's the road? Okay, I think this is the road they're talking about. Oh, because there's a stone right here to hide behind. You hide behind the upright stone. Keep your eyes peeled or I'll have something to tell the blight about you. Okay. We hide behind the upright stone. A pox on this hill. How long do we need to keep this watch, boss? Again, it's pretty clear that the Arcs, at the very least, are not happy to be here. And there's supposedly one more. Where is it? Did I miss one? Ah, I think I did. Okay. Ah, there it is. You hide behind the upright stone. I could do with some grub. How many of us really need to watch this road anyway? So they're not happy about the assignment. They're not happy about the area the assignment's in. And they're questioning it. Okay, so we've collected some obsidian gem. What else do we need to do here? Sprigs of mint. Okay. And there's that the tower up there. There's our sprig of greenwood mint. Fortunately, we only need 3 of them. Fortunately, we also need 2 of these shards of twilight. And I don't think that one gave me a gem. It didn't. That one did, though. Oh, one more. Maybe you will give me what I'm looking for. No. Sheep. And in case we were wondering, this is one of the quests you get at Oscalad. It's a side quest. Actually, it's a slightly interesting side quest, so I'm glad we're advancing it. Oh, why are you chasing me? And what did I just use? What's this called? Concession and rebuttal. Interesting. I don't think I've ever used that before. Of course, that would make sense since I never have had a yellow runekeeper before either. Now we need to find something called Sharp Fang and defeat it. And we might as well while we're out here. How far away is he? A little bit away, not too far. Could probably get there faster on a horse though. So we'll do that. And here at the Wild Ruin, in the middle of everything, we are looking for Sharp Fang. There he is. Here he comes. Okay, so we defeated Sharp Fang, who is a rather large, well-fed wolf. Now we have 1, 2, 3 done, and one more that we need to do. And how far away is the Scuttledale? It's actually very close. Okay, so we might as well go grab a few spiders from the Scuttledales. Not my favorite place. Not my favorite place at all. So we're going to get to see me get lost over and over in here, especially when we get to do some quests this way. And there will be some quests in the Scuttledales. Alright, so get off our horse. Of course, the first thing we come across is a dog and not a spider. Ah, spiders. Okay, we have our first choice cut of meat. And I just saw that rich Khazad Scorn. So obviously I have to go get that. One of the dogs. Okay. spider. Two more. Oh, excuse me. Rude. But I did need you, so come here. One more. Everything but what I want. I think I came in on the wrong side of the Scuttle Dells. Oh, crow. Oh, the low pond. Okay. I really did come in on the wrong side. There was definitely better places to enter the Scuttle Dells from, with lots more spiders. But we only need one more, so maybe we will find one on the way back. Wait, there's one right over there. Can we? All right, come on, you. Okay, got it. So we're going to head back to Oscalad, and I will be right back. All right, I checked the time, and we don't have that much time left, so I decided to just head back to the Haunted Inn. And can we appreciate how big the shadow of these antlers are? They are gigantic. All right, we're going to go talk to Bingo. We have his ingredients. We have some quests that we will turn in later at Oscalad. But for the moment, well, we must tend to our hobbit friend.
My belly feels so empty.
Oh,
I've been so hungry lately.
good, good. Thank you for bringing these ingredients back to me. I'm very excited to prepare this breakfast, for my belly feels so empty. I have been so hungry lately. While you were gone, I went to look for Adwelin to consult with her about how best to prepare the spider meat so it will not taste vile or make us sick, but I could not find her. Could you ask one of the rangers where I might find her? Prestadere seems to be in charge. He might know where she has gone.
Greetings.
I'm sorry, Medrielle, for whom are you looking? Adwelin. I do not know anyone by that name. You told Prestadere that Bingo met a ranger named Adwelin, and she gave him a book of recipes, but now she seems to have disappeared. I do not know what to tell your friend. There is no ranger by that name here, nor anywhere, unless our ranks are much larger than I realized, or my memory is much worse than I believed. Perhaps both are true, but I do not think so.
Well, this is quite a puzzle. Who gave me this book of recipes?
Well, this is quite a puzzle. You say that Prestadere did not know of any rangers by that name. If Adwelin was not a ranger, then with whom was I speaking? Who gave me this book of recipes? Adelinda.
I'm Adelinda, and I lived in Aldegheim long ago.
I'm sorry to deceive the two of you. My name is Adelinda, and I lived in Aldegheim long ago. A great evil was committed here, and I did not speak against it, for that I am cursed, never to find rest or peace. I arranged for your friend to find my old book of recipes, for I wanted nothing more than to pass on the activities that gave me such joy in life, when joy was possible. But I know now that it can never be, and it was the sense of family, the sense of belonging that I truly missed. Mirkwood was not always called such. Once it was Greenwood the Great, and the woodmen thrived beneath its canopy. The recipes I wrote for my people made exclusive use of the herbs and creatures that dwelled within, but so many of them will never return, and those meals will never be made again. Such is the nature of my curse. All else will change, but I will not. Watching the two of you has been bittersweet, but it dispelled my loneliness for a time, no matter how briefly. I thank you for that kindness. So she wasn't mean, she's lonely.
This experience has sent shivers down my spine, but I am still hungry.
This experience has sent shivers down my spine, Medrielle. I'm astounded to learn that Adelina labors beneath a curse, and has done so for who knows how many years. I mean, this place is called the Haunted Inn, but I did not really think. Bingo sputters into silence. To be fair, the lighting in here is very dim. I think my mistake is quite understandable, and Adelinda did not go out of her way to correct me, did she? I thought her name was Adeline, which seemed to me more like a ranger's name than Adelinda. I must confess I am pleased I need not try spider meat now, but I am still hungry. I will need something. My rumbling belly could wake the dead. Oh, that may have been in poor taste. I am terribly sorry. But it does not change the fact that I have missed a breakfast and cannot continue my adventure until I've had something.
This empty belly of mine has made it quite impossible for me to concentrate.
This empty belly of mine has made it quite impossible for me to concentrate on further documenting our stay in Mirkwood, Medrielle. I'm glad that we were able to give Adelinda a momentary distraction from her curse. But the fact remains that her recipe for breakfast involved spider legs, and while I am powerless to do anything about the curse, it is within my power to refuse a breakfast of hairy spider legs. No spider legs for me, thank you. Yuck. I told William about my dissatisfaction and my hunger, and he ran off. Can you ask around the inn to see if anyone knows what has become of him? I expect he has gone in search of a second breakfast, and I would greatly appreciate your hastening him back here with it. All right, so luckily for Bingo, he does not have to eat the spider legs. I kind of feel bad for Adelinda because, well, she's pretty much cursed for eternity. And next time, well, we're going to continue our quest in Mirkwood, and perhaps in the process, we'll track down Willem. Though I think it might be a little while. Until then, bye for now.